Hi, today on Divine Cuisine, we're going to make that East Coast seafood chowder. You know it's going to be delicious. So let's head into the St. Lawrence market, one of the best markets in North America, and get our ingredients. Or fresh produce, wonderful pastries, assorted olives, cheeses galore, meats and chicken, all kinds of sausage. Oop. All kinds of mushrooms. Don't forget the chicken. There's some shellfish, PEI mussels, and assorted oysters. There they are, shucking the oysters. Here we have dry aged beef. Look at that date, May 17th. Today's the 25th of July. This will be absolutely some of the finest beef you could ever eat. So we got everything we need to make our chowder. Let's go and do that. Okay, to make our chowder, the first thing we have to do is make a good stock. Every soup requires a great stock. So what we've done, we've got some water here. We're taking our clams. Here we have some little neck and some cherry stone clams. We've cleaned them up. We're going to put them in there. Also, shells from our shrimp that we're going to put in the soup later. So we keep the shells. Don't buy the P&D ones. Buy shell on shrimp, because that's where a lot of your flavor is going to be. We have a bouquet garni here. Contains some tarragon, some thyme, and parsley. We'll put that in there. And for our aromatics, we have carrots, celery, and onions. Put that all in the pot. Turn it on, bring it to a boil, and reduce it to a simmer, and simmer it for 20 minutes. And remember, you get the recipe at chefk.com. Cover it, let it simmer. Bring it to a boil and let it simmer for 20 minutes. To clean our shrimp, we're going to remove the tail. Let's break it away, but keep it. And then peel off the shell. Very easy. Take a sharp knife and run it down the back. And you have a little vein in there that you just peel out away. And that's it. Your shrimp is done. So now while our sauce is simmering, we've taken some of our shrimp and these little bay scallops that we're going to put in our chowder, and we made a paste out of them. And we're going to use this paste to make the garnish. So we just scoop it around so it's nice and smooth. Get a Chinese soup spoon. Put the Chinese soup spoon in here. Now, remember our shells that we said, save the tails? Well, here's the tails. And put it in there like that. A little bit in the top, like that. Get yourself 2 little peas. Make some eyes. And we have our little well. When we steam our mussels for the soup, we'll steam these as well. And we'll float them on a little crouton, make it look like a little boat. Well, swimming on a boat. To begin our soup, we're going to take salt pork, dice it, and then cook it down. But save the little bits of meat In the East Coast, they call those scruncheons. They're absolutely delicious, so make sure you save them. Okay, our stock is ready. So now we just want to remove some of this before we strain it out. It smells absolutely wonderful. Here's our clams, opened up real nice. We'll strain all this out and chop them up for the soup. We'll let that cool off, and then we'll start our soup. So we begin our soup by rendering down our salt pork in a hot pot. And just let it cook down. Reduce the heat so we don't have brown fat. Our scruncheons are all nice and crispy, so we're going to remove those and go on to the next stage. Now to our bacon fat, we're going to add our aromatics, onions and celery. And you saute those in that fat so they're nice and tender. Now you want to add a little flour. Reduce your heat and cook that for 2 minutes. Now we're going to add our cold stock, all about 1 cup. And reserve that cup for later use. To prevent any soup sauce from going lumpy, you'll have a hot roux and a cold stock, or a hot stock and a cold roux. Put those together and you'll have a nice smooth result. Now we're going to let that come to a boil. We add our potatoes. And then we're going to let this simmer for about 40 minutes. Now we remove about 1.5 cups of the soup with a lot of the potatoes in it. And what we want to do is we want to puree these. Place that back in your soup. And that'll help thicken it up just a little bit. And we let it go back to a simmer. Now we continue our soup by adding our seafood. First our bay scallops. Our chopped clams that we cooked up. Here's our diced shrimp. And Del Holloway's salted cod. Mix that all in there. Once again, we bring it to a boil, reduce it, and let it simmer for 10 minutes. While that's simmering, we're going to take our little shrimp wells, you'll remember those. Put them in the pot. Along with our reserved clam juice. PEI mussels that we've washed and cleaned all up. Put it all in there. Cover it and let that steam for about 10 minutes. So we finish our soup by adding cream, 35% cream, some herbs. This is just parsley and chives. And you should taste it, and then you can add some salt and white pepper. Let it stir. Bring it back to a boil, and you're ready to serve. So our East Coast chowder is all complete. And your little shrimp. Well, serve it with some fresh made sourdough bread. What a great meal. Enjoy.